the TICAD 9 declaration. I thank you for your kind attention.
はい、ありがとうございました。続きまして、ボツワナからご発言をお願いいたします。
Thank you, Your Excellency. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Botswana's deep appreciation goes to the government of Japan, the African Union Commission, and all TICAD partners on convening this important summit. We gather not as individual nations, but as custodians of a shared destiny. This conference is more than just an event. It is a covenant with the future. For the first time since '66, Botswana emerged with a new government in 2024, led by President Boko. This represents a sacred trust of the people. This represents a sacred trust of the people. Democracy can flourish not but through the quiet courage of its citizens. Diamond has been the generation of people before us, a generation of clarity, a generation of learning, a generation of character, a generation of selfless community spirit. I am reminded of a Greek legend, Icarus, whom endowed with the power to fly, got carried away and then flew close to the sun. He melted and plunged to his death. Our diamonds caused us to fly close to the sun, but we choose not to melt or to death. We choose to be the next generation of clarity. We choose to become the generation of learning. We choose to become the generation of character. We choose to become a generation of selfless community spirit. This generation, the new Botswana generation, is our true diamond. Africa's youth are our true diamond. We are now choosing to pursue a Botswana transformation program, a rapid-fire process that has shaped our true north, a high-income Botswana that is digitally enabled, diversified, export-led, where every citizen is employed, empowered, and fulfilled. We prioritize and pursue all our might opportunities in agriculture, opportunities in energy, opportunities in tourism, creative industry, and in manufacturing. We choose also to focus in financial services and agriculture, opportunities in energy, opportunities in tourism, creative industry, and in manufacturing. We choose also to focus in financial services, our energy systems, our tourism assets, our capacity in AI, digital technology, in robotics, and in advanced manufacturing. Excellent.
ご発言ありがとうございました。発言時間4分間にご協力いただきましたこと、感謝申し上げます。続きまして、ナイジェ
リアco-chair of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I thank Japan, AU, and TICAD partners for being steadfast in arranging these meetings and for encouraging us to all believe, as Nigeria indeed believes, that shared prosperity is not just a wish, but something we should remain committed to. In the last 2 years, Nigeria under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had implemented critical reforms to stabilize our economy and restore confidence. Previous distortionary and unsustainable macroeconomic policies were hindering Nigeria's progress. So we removed the burden of fuel and foreign exchange subsidies, unified our exchange rate regime to reflect market realities. We passed the 2025 Tax Reform Act to broaden our revenue base and ensure equity. And we launched digital direct support to support millions of vulnerable households, proof that reform and compassion can work together. Indeed, the combination of these reforms shows the resilience, yet again, of the African spirit and our determination as Africans to get it right and take hard decisions, not because they were easy, but because they were right. We have been encouraged by the successes achieved: GDP growth, lower inflation rate, exchange rate stability, and current account as a share of GDP of 9%, significant trade surplus. Our diaspora bond was oversubscribed by 180%. We raised over 900 million, not just in capital, but in trust. Investor confidence is rising. Pitch upgrade Nigeria to B, stable outlook. Moody's raised our rating to B3, stable outlook. We are now focused on deeper structure to achieve 7% medium-term growth, critical for job creation and poverty reduction. Nigeria is positioning itself as a strategic gateway for investment and engine for economic transformation. These are not just numbers, they are signs that our country is on the move. We have had a new pace of renewal, transformation, and growth through investing in our people, by mobilizing all economically active members of the populace through a renewed world-based development program. Nigeria's investment potential is enormous. Higher absorption capacity, the desire economy by skilled workforce, energy and transition fuels, agriculture and investment in agriculture and food security, infrastructure and connectivity, rail, roads, refineries, steel, solid minerals, blue and maritime economy, pipelines, housing and urban development, technology and services, digital infrastructure. And we have strengthened our legal and regulatory framework, enacted the Securities Act 2025, and in conclusion, we thank Japan. We believe shared prosperity is possible, and we appreciate the priority areas and we welcome the opportunity.
はい、ありがとうございました。続きまして、マダガスカルにご発言をお願いいたします。
Excellences, Monsieur le Co-président, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, il est un grand privilège pour moi de représenter aujourd'hui Son Excellence Monsieur André Joël, Président de la République de Madagascar, à cette 9e édition de la TICAD. Je tiens à exprimer la profonde gratitude de Madagascar envers le gouvernement japonais, l'Union africaine et les partenaires de cette initiative, forme essentielle de dialogue et pour le développement de l'Afrique. La TICAD 9 porte promesse. Tire avec le Japon une nouvelle étape de notre partenariat, fondée sur la co-création et l'innovation. L'Afrique est riche de sa richesse, de ses terres productives, de son potentiel énergétique et minier. Mais ces richesses doivent être transformées en prospérité partagée, en emploi durable et en chaîne de valeur. Madagascar, cette vision prend un sens particulier. Nous voulons être au cœur d'une Afrique qui s'intègre, qui s'industrialise et qui s'ouvre aux grandes transitions mondiales. C'est pourquoi nous attendons, surtout du Japon, une alliance stratégique. pour développer ensemble nos zones industrielles, valoriser et transformer nos minéraux et nos produits agricoles sur place, pour investir ensemble dans nos énergies renouvelables et relier nos réseaux électriques afin que l'industrialisation soit réellement possible avec une énergie suffisante et fiable, pour soutenir nos infrastructures portuaires et de transport qui feront de Madagascar une porte d'entrée privilégiée vers l'océan Indien et le monde, pour partager votre savoir-faire dans le numérique, afin que notre jeunesse devienne l'actrice principale de la modernisation de notre économie, et pour renforcer la formation et l'employabilité des jeunes et des femmes qui sont le moteur véritable de notre transformation et le gage de sa durabilité. Excellence, ce que nous recherchons, ce que nous cherchons, c'est un partenariat solide et durable, basé sur la confiance et les intérêts mutuels. La TICAD 9 nous donne l'occasion de démontrer que l'Afrique et le Japon, ensemble, peuvent inventer un nouveau modèle de coopération économique équitable et tourné vers l'avenir. Je vous remercie.
はい、ご発言ありがとうございました。続きまして、赤道ギニアにご発言をお願いいたします。
Sí, muchas gracias. Excelentísimo señor copresidente, excelentísimos señores miembros de las delegaciones de países africanos aquí presentes. En esta importante cita internacional, Yobian Mambazogo, presidente de la República de Guinea Ecuatorial. La TICAD se ha consolidado como un espacio franco y constructivo entre África y Japón, donde diseñamos caminos de desarrollo capaces de resolver los grandes retos de nuestro tiempo. La realidad nos muestra que el crecimiento económico en el continente africano todavía no alcanza la velocidad necesaria para cumplir con las aspiraciones de la Agenda África 2063. No enfrentando a choques que frenan su crecimiento y un enfoque integral que aborde, entre otros, los siguientes aspectos. La dependencia de muchos países africanos de los ingresos por exportaciones de las materias primas, llámale petróleo, gas, minerales, etc., lo que los hace vulnerables a la volatilidad de los mercados globales. El alto nivel de deuda, desequilibrios comerciales e inflación. En 2024, más de la mitad de los países africanos con
against GDP that was 60%, and therefore interest payment is a major burden, and digitalization is a major challenge, and energy transition is very important. Regional economic integration is also critical. We need to gain trust in the global market. And youth vitality, there's much to learn, and we need to educate them, and we need to engage in human resource development so that youth and women can participate in the society. And another important issue is African produce to be sold in the international market. That way, African economy can become vitalized. We need to be more deeply engaged in the international market, and that requires education. Through promoting Japan-Africa cooperation through this venue is very important for us. We will become an attractive destination for investment, and we will be able to raise our value on the international front. Innovation and transformation are our driving forces by which we wish to continue growth. That requires technology in order to pursue growth. And Equatorial Guinea has a plan towards 2035. We adopted this plan, and based upon this plan, we wish to raise the presence of our nation in the international community. Thank you.
はい、ご発言ありがとう。
Thank you very much for the statement. Next is Democratic Republic of São Tomé and Príncipe. Over to you. Chair and heads of delegations and AU Chair and other members of the international organizations. We are most grateful for the opportunity to participate in TICAD 9. I would like to express our deep appreciation to the people of Japan and to the government of Japan for the hard work in preparing for the meeting and for your warm hospitality. TICAD is a meeting for the development of Africa. And our country is an island country. It's a very small country. We have quite a vast coastal area. And a small developing nation, it's an island nation, and therefore we have numerous challenges. Vulnerable shocks. It also calls for the need to make our economy more dynamic. We need to eliminate debt. The global economy is not working in favor of our economy. We are working to develop our economy and undergoing various transformation and reforms in order to gain capabilities. We are in a transition in order to be aligned with the new reality. We need funds to undergo transformation of the country. When it comes to the economic strategy of the country, it is about economic integration. Make marine resources sustainable. Logistics also has to be reformed as well. Our economic and political agenda is about conducting and implementing a sustainable transformation, and the business environment also must be transformed. Port infrastructure, digital infrastructure must be put in place. Connectivity is also required. And we need to gain a sustainable competitiveness. We also need to build an environment so that we can be resilient to climate change. Our strategy for development is to improve the quality of political quality to build a sustainable economy. Enhance transparency, and institutional reform will be executed.
はい、発言ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much for your comments. Namibia, please.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, last November, Namibians overwhelmingly elected Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah as the first female president of the Republic of Namibia. She would have been delighted to be here today and therefore extends thank you very much. Her apologies. She sends warm greetings to the Prime Minister of Japan and to you, Your Excellencies. I'm humbled to represent her here. My name is Elia Ngurare, her Prime Minister. Your Excellencies, let us envision an Africa where guns are silenced. Children and their mothers go to bed without fear or waking up dead or abducted. And hunger is a distant memory. An Africa where the Green Revolution replaces youth unemployment and where food surpluses and agribusiness become the norm and a daily song. An industrialized Africa where Toyota, Nissan, and Honda are not just automotive reference points, but an Africa where Japanese and African intellectual property collaborate to shape Africa's destiny, spearheaded by the youthful population through joint Japanese and African technology. Your Excellencies, this Africa is possible. Yesterday, Prime Minister Shigeru spoke about Japan's first contact with Africa in the 1600s in Mozambique. He shared a humble philosophy. Japanese aspired to learn from Africa's wisdom. As Africans, we have much to teach and are humbled to learn from the Japanese. In Africa, we say it takes a village to raise a child. Therefore, Your Excellencies, let us continue to walk the talk as Africans, particularly in the areas of youth empowerment, rural development, informal settlement development, and genuine economic empowerment at household level. We must ensure that every action has a human face. This economic unity will be achieved by deliberate investment in key infrastructure such as ports, air, road, railway, and digital networks for economic growth, from Cape to Cairo, from Mombasa to Praia. Let us make it easy for every African to move within Africa. Let us make it fashionable for African youth to love Africa more than anywhere else. Finally, let us, through Namibia's NDP 6, TICAD 9, and Africa Continental Free Trade Area, foster people-to-people partnership, Japan and African countries, equipping our youth with the necessary knowledge and skills. Once the youth of Africa, the battle is won. It takes an Africa that is united to birth this economically hopeful future for our youth and our people. May God continue to bless this enduring friendship between Africa and Japan. Arigato gozaimashita.
はい、ありがとうございました。続きまして、ケニアにご発言をお願いいたします。
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate the organizers of TICAD 9 for convening this forum under the timely and forward-looking theme, co-creating innovative solutions with Africa. Africa's journey to economic transformation faces significant impediments, which we all recognize. The challenge before us is not about knowing what needs to be done, but whether we have the courage and urgency to do it. Currently, less than 18% of Africa's exports are traded in the continent, compared to over 60% in Europe and Asia. According to the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, Africa must trade more with itself to unlock the vast potential of markets, open rivers of opportunity for our people, create wealth, and drive inclusive prosperity. Agriculture remains Africa's greatest untapped engine of prosperity. It employs more than 60% of our people and contributes nearly a quarter of the continent's GDP, yet its promise is far from being realized. With 65% of the world's remaining arable land, Africa should not only feed itself, but also feed the world. This is not a failure of potential, but of investment, infrastructure, and integration. By deploying technology, financing farmers, investing in rural infrastructure, and trading more with ourselves, we can transform agriculture from subsistence into a powerful driver of industrialization, job creation, and shared prosperity. Today, ladies and gentlemen, intra-Africa trade accounts for only 15% of total continental trade. By all credible estimates, under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, intra-African trade can surge by up to 50% in just 10 years. This would generate immense wealth, create millions of decent jobs, expand opportunities for MSMEs, and open new markets for African goods and services. I have also been a strong proponent of reform of the international financial architecture. The current global credit rating system often overlooks Africa's unique economic realities, unfairly penalizing our countries during periods of global distress. This must change. Progressive reforms are essential to unlock affordable, predictable, and sustainable financing for development. I therefore support the proposal to establish an African credit rating agency, complemented by reforms in global credit rating systems to address structural inequalities. Given the constrained fiscal space in many African countries, the private sector must roll through effective public-private partnership. A vibrant private sector brings not only capital to bridge financial efficiency critical to sustainable growth. In conclusion, let me reiterate what I said at the beginning of my statement. Transformation cannot be achieved through endless strategizing, planning, or prevarication. It demands action. The courage to make courageous decisions today, even when inconvenient, in the short term, because the long-term good of our people is what matters most. And I thank you.
はい、ルート大統領ありがとうございました。続きまして、レソト発言をお願いいたします。
Co-chairs, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is with a deep sense of gratitude that I convey to you warm greetings from His Majesty King Letsie III, the government and the people of the Kingdom of Lesotho, and to congratulate the TICAD 9 co-organizers for hosting this important summit. As we converge here today, I am honored to mention that Lesotho is fortunate to be endowed with abundant water resources, which present numerous opportunities for value chains, particularly in energy production. Lesotho recognizes the transformative potential of our renewable energy landscape, particularly in hydro, solar and wind energy. Lesotho is thus positioned to contribute meaningfully to regional energy security and climate-friendly development. We also aim to generate surplus power to export to the Southern Africa pool. Key initiatives include the Just Energy Transition Initiative pioneered by His Majesty the King Letsie III, which seeks a clean energy transition with equitable benefits for all our citizens and communities. At a global level, Lesotho is participating